Hey guys, what is up? It is Bib07 here again, and I am back for another RuneScape vlog here. Just going to be doing some RuneSpan on my main account here for this one. I am on my Ironman as well, up above. Just unlocked Invention on there, which I'm pretty hyped about. Just get rid of this garbage. But yeah, I am going to be trying to go over to do a Slayer task on there actually, so... it's kind of annoying. I did get 99 Slayer on this account a while ago, but I do have not enough. I do not have enough Slayer points to unlock Slayer rings, which I really want to have to use for Invention. So I do have to go do a couple Slayer tasks. I have like 230 points, so it shouldn't take me too long on there, but it is kind of a pain to have to do that, because when I was doing my Slayer, it was on like the bonus Slayer XP weekend, and I was skipping a lot of tasks in order to get good ones so I could make the most of the extra experience. But still kind of annoying now that I have to go and get more. But either way, in this video I just wanted to talk about my current progress as well as today's update which came out, so I did want to discuss that a little bit. But first of all, I haven't unlocked Invention on this account. I got 80 Divination, which finished off the last requirement for Invention, and I've been doing it quite a decent amount. I am 35 Invention at the moment. I started off with 2 augmented Bandos God Swords to get myself up to level 27, and now I can do the equipment all the way to level 10, and it can either siphon it or disassemble it depending on what it is. I am disassembling Bandos God Swords when I do have my melee, but if I am training range, I'm using my roll crossbow, and I am siphoning that rather than disassembling it, because I did disassemble one of them, but it is kind of a pain to go and get back the roll crossbow every time. If I didn't have to brandish it at the QBD, it wouldn't be too bad, but that just makes it a little bit too annoying for me to want to continue disassembling those. So yeah, I am currently 35. I am just doing RuneSpan at the moment because I am playing on my hardcore Ironman a little bit, trying to get those Slayer points out the way, and I'm going to try and train some Invention up on there because I want to get my Rune Ethereal armor. But other than that, on this account, I've also got an 89 Slayer. I forget what I was at in the last video. I think maybe I got like 2 levels or something like that. So I am 89 Slayer now, which is pretty nice. Getting up there, kind of. Once I hit 90, I do, of course, unlock Dark Beasts. And I would like to get Arets as well. Those are going to be very nice at level 92. I also have a Mask of the Aret, which is pretty sweet. For those of you who don't know, the Slayer masks actually let you get one of the tasks that they're for per day, so I can get 1 Aret task per day, and I can also get 1 Abyssal Demon task per day because I have an Abyssal Demon mask as well, so that's pretty sweet. I'll probably end up utilizing the Abyssal Demon mask over the double XP weekend if I have any extra time to do Slayer after doing the skills I have planned out. I did purchase some more summoning supplies because I do have more charms than I had before. I've done a couple Celestial Dragons tasks since the last episode, which got me a lot of Crimson charms, and I've just sort of gained a little bit more charms to be utilizing over that weekend, which is nice. I'm also almost 90 range from doing those tasks, so that's pretty sweet. Definitely going to be trying to save up for a Noxious Longbow in the near future, but I'll probably go for the staff first. But still, it's pretty nice to be hitting high levels of combat stats. I also got 80 attack, which means I can do Vindicta, which I'm probably going to be trying out relatively soon on this account. I'm not sure what gear I'll be able to do it with. I'm hoping I'm probably going to end up trying to buy full subjugation on this account, and using that with my Virtus wand and book to try out Vindicta with, because I want to try and basically test out how I'd be doing if I were going to do it on my Ironman. Because I know on this account I do have the Anima Core of Saren armor, which is of course level 80 magic power armor, but I would like to try it out first with subjugation so I can, get a feel for how my Ironman would do on there, and how hard it would end up being, because that's probably the kind of gear I would end up going to Vindicta with is on my Ironman is my chaotic staff, and then full subjugation once I do manage to get it from Zami God Wars, because that's pretty much the best magic armor I can acquire at the time. But if it ends up being too hard, I will just wait until I get my ports armor, because I'm not in a huge rush, and I'd rather be safe than sorry, if you know what I mean. I'm a hardcore Ironman, of course, so yeah, that is that. But I'm happy to get 80 attack. That means I have all of the God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses unlocked now, which is sweet. The only one I have done so far is Hellweir, which was not a smart really idea because it kind of got destroyed and it wasn't really worth it that much, but I did get lucky and get a drop on our first kill when I was duoing with my friend Alex. But yeah, besides that, getting 80 divination, unlocking invention, a couple slayer levels, and some combat levels. I haven't really done too much. I have, of course, done a little bit of rune crafting. I've gotten like 4 levels. I was 54. I'm just going to get 66 on this account and then stop until I get my first 99, because it's not really worth it to keep going back to the top floor through the middle floor every time. Like, once I get my first 99, I can just go through the max garden portal and it takes me straight to the top floor. So might as well just wait until then, but I do have to get 66 first to unlock that, so I might as well just bang that out. Nice and easy AFKing, and gives me some total levels. And runecrafting was my lowest skill besides invention, so I thought it would be smart to get it up a little higher. I also have over 1 million summoning bonus XP now, because I, of course, have been dumping all of my bonus XP into summoning, so I can try and get 96 over that weekend. So looking forward to that. Oh, and I do have 70 thieving, and that is because I did pickpocket 5,000 feathers from the Desert Phoenix. So I have all the feathers I need to create a ton of super anti-fires over the double XP weekend. That was a massive pain in the ass, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. It's going to save me a lot of money that I would have spent making different types of potions, and I pretty much have an infinite supply of super anti-fires, so that's always nice. But yeah, anyways, moving on to this week's game update. As suspected, this month's pretty boring. This week is just a patch week with a few little fixes and patch updates, and they talk about the second part of the Valentine's event, which I have been doing the Valentine's event on both of my accounts every day, but unfortunately it looks like I'm not going to be able to unlock all of the rewards for the event, regardless of the fact that I've done it every single day. So that's kind of lame. I still need a ton more points to get the rewards, and the first part of the event ends tomorrow night at midnight, so that's kind of disappointing. I feel like it's kind of stupid that they have rewards that you just can't end up getting, but not much I can really do about it. I think maybe you can buy some extra points ability with rune coins, but I'm not going to waste my money doing that. That's just kind of stupid in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm going to be missing out on some of the rewards, but I did get the main one that I wanted on both my accounts, which was the loot beam. Unfortunately, the loot beam is pretty lame. It's like very, very small, and you can't really see what it's even shining over. Hopefully in the future they do increase the size of the loved up one, because it is definitely way smaller than the rest of the loot beams and could use an update for sure. But anyways, moving on to the update, I'm going to talk about, I guess, the second part of the Valentine's event. So part 2 of the event is basically the same type of event as Birth by Fire and Deathbeard's Demise. That's what I thought the whole event was going to be like, but the first part was not the same. But the second part is you're basically going to be able to acquire, I'm not sure what it's called, it's going to be fabric. You can collect up to 1,000 fabric per day, and 10,000 fabric will get you all the rewards that there are on offer in the second part of the event, and the event will last for 14 days. So that's basically the same exact thing as the other 2 events that have been going on in the past couple of months. So I guess they're sort of going with that as the new theme, which I don't mind it. It's pretty easy to get enough of the, whatever it ends up being, the fabric, the doubloons, whatever, just by doing some skilling every day. So it's really not a huge hassle, and you don't have to go out of your way to go and do it, which is something you do have to do for the way the event is now. So I'm not too bothered by that, and of course, it's possible to get all the rewards for these events without buying any extra things with microtransactions, so that's obviously a plus as well. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the rewards end up being for that. Obviously just going to be a bunch more cosmetic stuff, I'm sure, but still, I do like to get some of that stuff sometimes, and it's nice to have unlocked the things that are like never going to come back and stuff like that. I don't really know how to say it, but that's just how I feel about unlockables and stuff. But yeah, that's basically all they had on the main update page. They basically said, read the patch notes if you want to see what they actually updated, and then here's the info about the rest of the Valentine's event. So I'm jumping onto the forums now for the patch notes, and did some random graphical updates. Don't really ever care about those. Some good things here from the video I made about the invention perks. They actually doubled the chance of the Prosper perk giving a clue scroll, which I guess it was too low before. I don't know. They didn't say the chance of it. They just said there was a chance. So I'm not sure what how much they changed it by, but it is now doubled. So probably a much better chance than it was before. And the Tinker perk now has a 5% chance per rank to give plus 25% XP. So it was way weaker before. It was only plus 1% chance per rank to give plus 10% XP. So now it actually sounds like it could be a pretty useful perk. So I'm pretty happy that they decided to update it, because it sounded pretty weak as stands. And it also didn't really, the chance was just too low for too low of an XP, but they even raised the chance by a ton. The chance used to be at most 3%, but now it is at most 15%, and the XP was increased by 15% to 25%. So the Tinker perk probably now actually going to be somewhat useful in gaining you more XP. So there's now a 15%. Let me just do the quick math. There's 15% chance of getting 25% more XP. So it's actually going to be like a 3.75% increase to your XP per hour, which is pretty damn good for if you get the max level perk. So I would definitely recommend getting that if you could on your new crystal skilling things or whatever. I don't know how the invention works for those skills, but still would recommend getting it. And they also changed, I think, one other perk. The Pyromaniac perk now gives an increased chance of obtaining Bernie the Skilling Pet when triggered, so that is interesting. I don't know what that really means. I guess it's a higher chance to give the pet than normal or not. I'm not sure, but regardless, not really a huge change to that one. But the Tinker perk, I think, is going to be more useful now, definitely, because of that change, so happy to see that. Also, the Shield of Erev quest has been completely reworked, apparently, and you no longer require a second player to complete the quest, which is kind of interesting. It's been that way for a long time, and I find it kind of strange that they ended up changing it, mostly because they did not change the fact that you need a second player for Heroes Quest. So I don't understand why they would change Shield of Erev and not change Heroes Quest. They should have either changed both or changed neither of them. I think it's kind of stupid that you still require a player for Heroes Quest. I never liked that in general. I always thought it was kind of annoying that you had to go find another person in order to even complete a quest that you were doing, so it's kind of a pain, but at least they changed one of those quests out. I wish they had changed both, because it's just kind of dumb that they didn't. They'd only changed the one, but still good that they're at least moving away from it a little bit. Hopefully they do decide eventually to change Heroes Quest, but they probably won't, since they've changed Shield of Erev, and they're probably not going to ever revisit it in the future. But one pretty interesting change that's on here is they actually changed the next Angel of Death prayers that you get. You get the prayer book, and you can unlock any of these prayers that are on my prayer book here: Malevolence, Desolation, or Affliction. Those are level 99 prayers, and previously they did occupy the overhead slot, so you couldn't use Soul Split or protection prayers alongside of them. But they have changed that so they no longer occupy your overhead prayer slot, and they're basically just like a stronger version of turmoil, anguish, and torment. So they're actually going to be definitely used a lot now, I assume. It also says they are no longer removed by abilities such as sever, and the prayer drain rate is increased slightly. So yeah, definitely an interesting change. Obviously, it is basically the same exact thing as the turmoil prayer. Like if you read here, greatly increases magic attack, strength, and defense, or melee attack, strength, and defense by a fixed amount, drains the enemy's melee attack, melee strength, and defense, increasing over time. This says the exact same thing, except it doesn't say greatly increases. So clearly, these new prayers are going to just be better versions of the turmoil prayers, and they're going to be widely used. And the price of that prayer book has probably gone up a lot since this update just came out this morning. I'm assuming a lot more people are going to be wanting the prayers now, and they're going to be far more widely used across all PVM and all of the, Slayer, most efficient Slayer web methods and stuff like that. So I'm glad they changed that. It was kind of stupid that they occupied the overhead slot. Didn't really make much sense. And it kind of ruined their usefulness because the soul split curse and the protection prayers were just far too useful, or far too, like, they were pretty much required in a lot of situations. So you couldn't, like, even if you wanted to sacrifice for the DPS, you almost couldn't, depending on what situation you were in. So I'm definitely pretty happy with that. They also, I think they increased the number of players that roll on the main drop table. It says 7 players now roll on the main drop table, while 3 players roll on the participation table. I'm not sure how many it was before, but that sounds like an increase. I'm not 100% though. And they just changed a couple things about the fight that were like bugged or something that I don't understand because I've never done the fight. Other than that, not too much else in these patch notes as far as I can tell. Yeah, that is it really of significance. Basically, they changed Shield of Arif and changed around the new prayers from Angel of Death. So that is basically it for this week. Pretty lame update. But, as I said in my month ahead for February analysis type video, it did sound like a pretty lame month was incoming. And so far it has lived up to that, honestly. Just two very small updates so far. Hopefully the things they end up working on this weekend over the Games Jam live streams or whatever are going to end up being cool. And the next week's update might have some cool little updates, like a bunch of them that'll be, interesting and fun to check out. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in that next week. But yeah, basically going to be just sitting at RuneSpan here until I get 66. Then probably, I don't know, I'm not sure what I would do after that, but I kind of want to save this Greater Demons task in case I want to go to Zami over the double XP weekend, because that would actually be insane, Slayer and Magic XP doing that. But 59 rune crafting there, pretty cool. Almost up to 60. Looking forward to getting it up to that. But yeah, that's basically it, you guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the Heroes Quest not getting reworked. I think it's kind of dumb. And if you're glad about the next prayers being swapped to the regular prayer slot instead of overhead, I think that's a really good change. Other than that, guys, hope you all did enjoy this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.